Matt here again. With me today is Stephanie and Mia and Rosie.
Hi.
We paddled into the same spot that I come in on the last video. We paddled in early this morning. We went to come in yesterday, but the winds were just too high. So we paddled in this morning and set up camp. Unfortunately, Stephanie cannot stay tonight. She's got to work tomorrow morning. I have tomorrow off, and the forecast is beautiful for this evening. As you can see behind me, the water is nice, low winds, nice clear skies. Tomorrow's supposed to be similar, so I'll catch up with you guys now in a little bit. Stephanie's gone. It sucks. Originally the plan was to paddle in yesterday and for both of us and the two dogs to camp in last night, and when we got up here the pond was as turbulent as fresh water could possibly be. It just wasn't even close to sensible to attempt to put in. So we kept everything packed and loaded in the car and came up early this morning. Left about 9 o'clock. Hey Danny. We paddled in and we set up camp and got a bunch of wood processed. Had a breakfast, it was nice. Cooked supper. And we were a little later paddling out than we had planned. As you can see behind me now, the sun is all but set and the moon is high in the sky already. It's a clear sky, the moon is full, so definitely going to be a nice bright night. This isn't an ideal situation for a lot of people, and myself included, to be paddling back 25-30 minute paddle solo, coming on dark. Still April month, the water's freezing cold. I did leave everything camp-wise in there set up. I was prepared, should something happen on the way out, to leave everything in there and come back and get it tomorrow. And even paddling out, something that I had to realize was soloing the boat back in with Stephanie and the dog and her bag of gear gone. It's about 150 pounds less in the boat. So I took my barrel and a small bag. So I took out all the food. And I also took my fire starting kit and my tarp. So I have food, I have shelter, and I have the ability to start a fire for heat should something happen to me on the way back in. By paddling too fast, hit a rock that I didn't see, roll the boat, whatever. Anything at all can happen. I also have my first aid kit and my headlamp. I leave my headlamp around my neck so that there's no wondering where it's to. It can't fall out of a pocket. I don't need to search through my gear. And as you can see, I stay pretty close to the shore. Most of the water that I paddle in this time of night, I could probably stand up in. So staying by the shore keeps you in shallower water. It also keeps you blocked from the wind. So again, a lot less likely that something is actually going to happen that you need to figure out. kettle on there now. I need a cup of tea, as you would. Mia's laying on the ground next to me here. We were out for an overnight in the winter with a friend of mine in his shelter. We had a wood stove. But this is our first time since the snow was gone. You don't really know what to think of all the sunset sounds. The ducks' wings as they're flying overhead. The rest of the birds chirping as they're getting ready to go to sleep. She's getting a little bit freaked out. One bonus to having a dog in the woods is that the dog is always alert and always aware of what's going on. So if something was to wander into camp, Mia would let me know. So when she steers off in the one direction for a long period of time, it half freaks me out for a second. So she's freaked out because she don't know what's going on. I'm freaked out because she's freaked out. Jeez. Anyways. Well, it was a beautiful night. The wind died off. I don't expect to see too many stars, even though it is a clear night, but the moon is full and it's high, so I don't anticipate seeing too many stars, but that's alright. I'd say by the time I get a cup of tea in me now and burn a few more logs, probably going to be heading to bed half early, so.
Oh, good morning. Oh, I slept pretty well. I'm not sure what time it is now. Well past daylight. Mia slept well. Didn't you? Yeah. Anyways, I gotta get up. I still got some firewood and sticks and some birch bark left. I done that on purpose so that I wouldn't have to collect anything or cut any wood first thing this morning. I can just crawl out of the tent, light the fire right away. So much for getting up. As soon as I took my arms out of the sleeping bag, that was it then. This little one had different plans for him. Kiss your dad.
time for some gear talk. My tent is an MSR Mother Hobbit NX. It's a 3-person tent. I wouldn't normally have taken this tent if it was just me, but again, the original plan was for Stephanie and 2 dogs and myself to be in here. My sleeping bag, it's the North Face. It's a Dolomite 1 Duo. It's 2 top blankets, and then your bottom, they all zip together. It's rated for +10, 0 or -10 depending on the configuration, so it's very versatile. For a sleep pad, I'm using the Climate Double V insulated pad. I just put the wool blanket over top so Mia's nails don't damage the pad. And my pillow is just a cheap inflatable pillow that I ordered from Amazon. I think it was 23 bucks. I like this one because it has a cover. You might be wondering why a double pad and a double sleeping bag. I absolutely hate sleeping in a single sleeping bag. I get way too claustrophobic. I move around way too much. Most times I wake up with my 2 arms up over my head. I don't know what in the hell I'm doing in my sleep, but anyways, a single sleeping bag is just not working. Over the few years, I've bought 3 or 4 different bags, and none of them are suitable. So I switched to a quilt a while back, and I found that was good, but I still had the problem of the sleep pad. Again, moving around a lot, you wake up, your arms are on the ground, whatever. So I decided that maybe the solution is to go with a double wide sleep pad, which worked out absolutely perfect. Then it seemed simple enough. Well, if the double pad fixed the problem, maybe the double bag would fix the problem. Again, in warmer weather, I can just use a quilt. But for shoulder seasons and in winter camping, a bag is definitely going to keep you a lot warmer. So I decided to go with a double bag. It's a lot larger and a lot heavier, so it's not suitable for a hiking trip. But when I got the Canoe, the extra size and the extra weight doesn't matter. And in the winter, I'm pulling a sled behind me, so the extra bit of weight there. So the extra bit of weight in the winter doesn't matter either, pulling the sled. So what? Hello, pupper dags. So plans have changed once again, as they often do, especially on these types of trips. As of yesterday, the winds weren't supposed to be bad today. Then the forecast changed overnight, saying that it's supposed to pick up to gusting 60 by around noon. 60 sucks in a canoe. So the original plan was for me to stay in until Stephanie got off work at 4 o'clock, and she was going to come pick me up. Even as a tailwind, a 60-kilometer-an-hour gust can turn your boat side on pretty quick. It's not a fun situation to be in. So we'll see. I have to break camp early and head on out, hang out on the side of the road until Stephanie comes to get me. Well, that would have been a great plan had I actually stuck to it. Immediately after, I was talking to a friend of mine, Phil. He had recently picked up a canoe. He has, at the time, 0 canoeing experience, so the plan was for him to meet me on the edge of the pond. I'd paddle out to meet him in my canoe, leave mine at his vehicle. We were going to paddle his back into camp and break camp and paddle back out. As you can see, we ended up having to line our way back, pull the boat through the woods, just a mess of a time. So what we had to do from there was bring both canoes back to Phil's house, because we knew we'd have to walk in to get the gear. It was not easy. There was no trails, barely game trails if we were lucky. Pushing through, we finally found where we needed to go. We got in, we had to load up the bags. Phil took 2 bags, I took the barrel and a bag. Turned out Phil's weighed 50 pounds even, my two weighed 56 pounds. Just a hateful time trying to log it all out. I had to keep my silky saw on me to cut through to cut a trail on the way out. Anyways, we made it back to his pickup. Lesson learned. Did you have fun?
Laugh. Time and a half, man.
Oh, what a slog. Oh, we didn't track the distance, did we?
I didn't. The steps taken versus energy expended, not even comparable.
Yeah, it was well over 2 kilometers, 2.5, 3 kilometers, and just pushing through brutal stuff. Anyways, it's all out. Didn't have to leave nothing in. Thanks to my buddy Phil. Loves you, Phil.
Love you.
Just goes to show it doesn't matter what you've got planned, you need to have plan B, plan C and plan D. I lucked out this time, and fortunately not only was I able to get back in there, but I had a buddy there who was willing to come back in and help me out with it.